Right, I'm Ben. I'm going to talking about P6, which is identifiable examples, modern construction processes and sequences used within today's industry, highlighting the way they respond to sustainability. So the best example of modern construction processing is the implementation of building information modelling, or BIM, across all construction companies in the UK and also worldwide. BIM is the collaboration between all companies working on a construction project to manage all the designs for each discipline, whether it be the architectural design, the structural design, or the internal utilities and so on. BIM is split into different levels, as level 0 being simply paper exchanges with no digital records. Level 1 is where files are transferred digitally via emails or on collective drives such as OneDrive or Dropbox. And then level 2, which is most companies are working towards already implemented, is where each discipline will produce a 3D model using within their relevant software, which can then be imported into software such as Navisworks, where these models can be seen as within one model to see where clashes are, and this can be accessed by all the companies to see these points, and then things can be developed. The way in which BIM reacts in response to sustainability is a wide availability of data to all the sources and all the disciplines working on the project. By having this information available to everyone about the exact materials and quantities required, there's less wastage within the project, which is more sustainable. And additionally, if we're having all this information about the materials, where possible, recycled materials can be used to reduce the need for human resources to be used. Cheers.
I'm Stephen, and I'm going to be talking about P7, which is explain contract planning techniques used within micro and macro projects. So I've got a few definitions to start. One is, microeconomics is the study of the economic behaviour in single units, such as households and industries. Microeconomics mainly studies the relationship between these units and how goods and services are produced and distributed. The opposing to this is macroeconomics, which is the study of the economics of larger areas such as national or global. It still studies the production and distribution of goods and services, but the relationship is between larger groups of units. So both of those together, the economics of an area or unit may include goods and services in relation to construction industry. This includes many items such as building materials, building labour, finance, and when studying the economics of a single unit or larger region, in simple terms, there are some main categories to take into consideration. Some are what resources will be used and in what quantity, how will these be produced, for whom are they going to be produced, and what alternative choices are available to purchasers.
Molly and I'll be talking through P8, which is identify where BIM impacts upon operations of construction companies. There are positive and negative impacts to any sort of construction industry using BIM. The negative ones are more to the fact of the investment used to get the software that allows BIM to be managed, but the positives are obviously the idea how any pre-design with, as Ben was saying, having a full model that's fully integrated with all the different disciplines allows you to coordinate information to any clashes and any problems that can be sorted in the pre-design phase, instead of them being moved to the construction, and then that costs more money when there's site investigations. And so if you can avoid any of these problems, it allows companies and clients to get the job done quicker without as many problems.
Hi, I'm Gareth. I'm really covering P9. This is to explain how health and safety has now become a part of the construction process. So first of all, on any given construction site, there's a range of hazards and activities being carried out all the time using like large machinery that weighs a lot. There can be just moving vehicles. There could just be people just moving around site that you might not see or be aware of. Due to the environment being so hazardous, in the past there have been many fatalities just due to there not being strict legislation in line. So here I've got a graph ranging from 1933 to 2004. This explains the amount of deaths per 100,000 workers on any workplace in general. And it starts from 1993 at a value of 15 fatalities every 100,000 workers in 1993. And it comes all the way down to barely one when you get to 2004. There's a sudden dip in 1974 when the Health and Safety at Work Act was put in place. This ensured that employees were able to work in safe environments, they were healthy, have a general welfare at work where reasonably possible. The reason why this was put in place is because of just the cost that saved companies in general. Like with this new scheme, the cost of a death would cost nearly 1.5 million, and it would damage the reputation of the company significantly if the fatality were to happen. For P10, it's going to cover the government legislation, the 2 points, Health and Safety at Work Act, and the Construction Design Management points.
Hi, I'm Andrew. I'll be talking about P11, which is, I'll be discussing with you the collaboration and communication to ensure safety in the workplace. And to do this, I thought it would be best to cover some of the reports from the 1990s, the first one being the Latham report in 1994, which helped to outline health and safety provisions throughout all of the engineering in the UK. So that makes sure that proper planning is done into what safety is needed for each individual project, ensuring that a planning supervisor is there to coordinate all of the health and safety for that project, providing health and safety plans, risk assessments, fault finding system, making sure everyone knows what is needed when they go to site. And then building on that later, 4 years later, was John Egan's report, which just kind of built up on what health and safety was already there, as well as helping to implement better welfare. So that was better site conditions, so making sure that access, everything is safer, as well as improving wages for people outside, better hours to help reduce risk of fatigue, and also to improve the training of everyone, because they realised that most of the fatalities were caused by people not being properly trained. So proper training processes are implemented to help prevent that. And then one of the recent schemes, which is Construction 2025. So by 2025, the UK construction industry wants to improve and build upon the health and safety reputation of the UK and make it world class. And by doing that, using record information to help communicate to everyone how best to work safely, how best to reduce fatalities, and then also to address what happens to smaller projects. And with smaller projects, a lot of the time is they're not as bothered with health and safety. So you'll see most of the fatalities actually come from smaller projects, not using PPE, writing risk assessments, just kind of ignoring health and safety. And mainly because they can't really afford to implement that properly and train their staff. So Construction 2025 is helping get all of the construction industry in the UK up to the typical standards required.